Hi guys, how's it going? I am back for another video. Today I want to talk about the methods that you have available to you to determine which of your loans you want to pay off first. So there are a few different options, and I don't want to, give you an opinion of which one I think is best for you. What I would rather do is just lay out the information in front of you so that you can determine for yourself which method is best for you. Or you can kind of take some of the information like I've done and make your own method. So you do have options, and I'll just let you know about some of them. So the first, and I would say the most common, is called the debt snowball method. So basically what the debt snowball is, you list your loans, your debts, in order from smallest to largest for the amounts owed on them total. So if you have a $500 loan, put that first. You have a $700 loan, put that second. You have a $1,000 loan, put that third. You have a $5,000 loan, put that last. So you would put all of your additional funds that you have towards making an extra payment towards that $500 loan, or your smallest loan in this example. And what that does is, once you target that smallest loan, it will help you pay that loan off faster, and you make all of your extra payments towards that loan so that it really helps to get rid of it sooner. And once that one's gone, you can take that previously owed obligation monthly payment, the minimum monthly payment towards that, and apply that towards your next smallest loan. So say, the $500 loan had a $30 monthly minimum payment that you had to make. Now you don't have that obligation anymore. You can apply that $30 a month towards the next smallest loan, because that will be your next targeted loan to pay off. And you just keep going down in order through that method. So that's the debt snowball. It's very popular. People like Dave Ramsey swear by it. And I like this method because it has the benefit of keeping you motivated, because you are making more progress and you're actually seeing the progress being done. You're paying off a loan and you see it go away. Like, this is no longer on your list, and that's a wonderful feeling to be able to just cross that right off and do away with it. That's probably my favorite part of paying off loans, is just crossing it off. Like, bye. So that's one of the methods. Then there is what's called the debt avalanche method, which is listing your loans in interest in order of the highest interest to the lower interest. So if you have like a 12% loan, 12% interest rate loan, no matter what the amount of that loan is or the balance of it, pay that one off first, and then if you have a 5% interest rate loan, do that one second, and then if you have a 3% interest rate loan, do that one last, along those lines. So you order it in terms of interest rate, and you disregard the amounts actually owed on them in determining which ones you're going to pay off first. So that's the debt avalanche method. That one, a lot of people will recommend, because theoretically you're saving money, because the highest interest rate loan is going to, getting rid of that one faster will save you money that you are being charged otherwise in interest. The only thing with that one is you don't get as often that motivational, encouraging means of paying one off as fast as you do with the smaller, the debt snowballing. So you have to make sure that if you do the debt avalanche method, that you keep your momentum, you keep up with your motivation, and really encourage yourself to continue with it, because it can be, I know my highest interest rate loan is also my largest loan, and it's a substantial loan that's going to take me quite a number of years to pay it off, even if I'm focusing and targeting on that specific loan. So for me to sit there for years paying extra and extra on it, and not see it really go away, that tends to make you feel a little bit like it's not getting anywhere, and you get discouraged by it. So as long as you can overcome that, or as long as they're not, a bigger loan like mine, like a $15,000 loan or something like that, then that's definitely a good option too. Just kind of know yourself and really judge for yourself how you can handle that, And if you try it that way and it's not really working, or you're starting to feel discouraged, maybe it's time to relook at the other option. So what I did when I put my loans in order, and I did change them around a lot, I basically took the snowball method. So I listed them in order from smallest to largest. But since I was so strapped at the end of each month for money, I put them in order. So say I had like it is a little bit complicated, so bear with me in trying to explain it. But so say I had a $2,000 loan and I had a $4,000 loan. The $2,000 loan, if I would have paid it off, I would have eliminated a $50 a month minimum payment towards my minimum like obligation. My $4thousand loan, I could have saved $200, $250 maybe, and paid that one off so that I had that left over at the end of the month. I chose to pay off my $4,000 loan so that I would have more money left over at the end of the month so that I could apply that then to my $2,000 loan. So there was a lot of loans that I had because I had probably 12, 13 loans when I first graduated from college. So I kind of played around with it. A lot of them were, smaller interest rates in comparison, so I didn't really pay that much attention to the interest rate. I was more paying attention to, okay, I need more money. How can I make my life easier? So I paid off the larger one because I would have more money left over from that, minimum payment obligation going away. So that's kind of how I veered from the path a little bit from the debt snowball, but I did still primarily stick to the debt snowball. And I have so far paid off $55,000 worth of my $70,000 student loan debt that I graduated college from over a period of 6 years. The first probably 3 years, I was barely making enough money to cover my minimum payments. So I really don't look at that part of it as really making much headway. It has only been the past 3 years that I really paid off the majority of that $55,000 because that's when I started to research it more. I started to say, okay, I can't take this anymore because it's so much stress from not being able to cover my debts that I needed to find different methods. And that's when I started reading more on it and just really figuring out how to get better control over the situation. So that's when I really started. So I really paid off a good portion of that $55,000 in the past 3 years, as opposed to when I first started and was making barely above minimum wage and wasn't making enough money to cover my minimum payments, let alone make extra payments on them. So that is how I did it. There is one other option out there. So it's called debt snowflake. And I did also, play around with this a little bit when I have been paying off some of my loans. And basically the debt snowflake option is making micropayments. So you're being charged interest on a daily basis, compound interest in most situations, especially with student loans. So the compound interest is basically every day you're being charged interest, and by the next day you're being charged interest on that interest, and then it just continues to build up that you're constantly paying interest on your interest on your interest on your interest. So what some people do is make micropayments to kind of combat that compound interest. So you make a little $5 payment each day, and I had a really hard time trying to determine if that was actually effective in combating the compound interest, more so than just making like a $20 payment extra, over a week period or a 2 week period. I guess probably it does, but it's another option out there. It does hurt less from your budget to make a $5 payment every day or every couple of days than it would, making a $50 payment once a week or an extra $50 payment once a month. So it's just something to consider. You don't notice it as much because it's such a smaller amount that it's just 1 minute's there, 1 minute's not, because it's saving you money and being applied towards your debt instead. But that is basically what I have for today on the different methods available. So I hope to hear from you. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to chat. All right. Have a great night. Bye.